All right. So today we're going to go over probably the first battle that I really just I messed it up. Something horrible. And we're gonna look at it real quick and just go over some of the things that new players can do that show you know you that you can uh, avoid in a then your next campaign. Now the first big thing you can tell is the balance of power was not in my favor. Now that's not necessarily going to show you, hey, you're going to lose, but if you're a new player, balance of power kind of helps you determine where you want to be. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose. It all depends on how you um, man your troops and take care of everything around you. So we're gonna get into it, and let's see. So as you see, I went into it. I kind of knew I was not gonna win, but I even thought maybe I could try to do a night attack, see how that worked. But it really didn't change the balance of power or anything. So I just decided I would try for an attack. Now I was also kind of rushed because if you see uh, over here, England's come in, the Danes have come in, so I was kind of rushed because I wanted to take this before either of them had a chance to like stake a claim to it or take it over. So I went in and I started the deployment and I just instantly started the battle without really looking at what was going on. Now, you can see they've got a whole bunch of archers up here and they've got archer towers. Now, the archer towers, they're going to fire arrows at my at the one, which was another problem that I did. I only built uh one siege equipment to break down the tower gate. I had two ladders. I'm not gonna lie, like unless you auto resolve, I hardly ever use ladders so far, but I imagine that comes into effect the better you get, the more you want to use different things. So, but I just started up, let it run, no big deal. Now in Rome, none of these towers work, as far as I can remember. Till maybe you get to the later game, I don't know. But even in this capacity, holding on to the towers, both the towers and the archers are going to shoot at you. They're gonna they're gonna shoot at you. And I should have brought up some of these archers and just let them take the fire rather than sending my only siege equipment to kind of take the fire, because eventually what happens is uh it's gonna bust. It's gonna kill this one unit. And this, I also went in. This is all of the units I brought in as far as melee. I had a lot of archers, but in the early games, archers they're helpful, but as dis, they're not as like reliable as they are in future medieval or total war games. So you really depend more on your cavalry and your melee in this, and archers are just, they're kind of there to help. So, but that team right there took a beating, because I didn't really have anybody else taking it, and then I made the mistake of not just pushing. I should have tried to push. I didn't. I pulled back, and so all those men that died just opening up the gate was pretty worthless. Then I just sent in the rest of the melee and the cavalry, which I sent the cavalry up against spearmen, which you're going to see in a minute was a horrible choice. See these spearmen right here? Horrible choice. The spearmen kind of counter the cavalry, and you're going to see they're not only are they going to drop like flies, um, not so much drop like, yeah, see, they went from 30 to 20, and they just now got rid of that unit. So I wasted all of that. We did kill the enemy general, which was great, but then, most of my men were dead to this, and the archers that were sitting up here on the archers on the tower, and my melee guys are just being cut down, and then trying to get them to take down what was left of the units that came down off the wall, which once again, another archery unit. And of course, now one of my generals is dead. So yeah, see, and I'm trying to turn it around by charging and charging again, and but like I said, at this point, both of my cavalry units are pretty much spent, and all of my melee units are pretty much spent, and they just get run off. And I try to help with the cavalry, but there's not much left. There goes my last general. He's gone, and for that, it's the end of the battle. It's over. You're not going to win it. Even with, all I had left was some archers on the outside, and they were just going to get picked off. That's just how it is in this early game. You're not going to keep them alive like that. But like I said, the big thing here is I went in undermanned, and I just kind of rushed it. I rushed in with these cavalry, which I should have sent the melee after this, and I should have sent the cavalry after his general cavalry that was sitting over here, along with I think one melee unit. Yeah, he had one melee unit and a cavalry, and his general sitting here. If I would have done that, I think I probably would have come out better. But another thing is look at the ammo for the archers. It's barely gone all through the battle. It's not, that unit ran out, but these two still have a good amount of their ammo. And yeah, so I went in 416. I would have left with 55 or so. I think 42 got captured. Yeah, it was just a lot of men wasted, and of course I'm going to lose 2 generals. Which generals aren't as a big of a deal, as far as it's not like you need them to maintain your settlements or anything like that, but always a big deal when you're in the mini map and you're playing a fight. Once your general goes down, the morale of your army in medieval and Rome is gonna drop. It's just gonna plummet. And if I would have waited another turn, I probably could have came into this with more melee, another couple turns actually, and some of these units would have disappeared under the siege. And it was funny that the AI didn't challenge me, when it had the chance. Yeah, see, it had some swordsmen by the looks of it, and a cavalry on this side, and on this side it had a spearman. And I should have sent these guys, the 3 melee, into the spearmen, and should have taken the cavalry, the 2 cavalry units, and attacked these 2 units over here. I think I would have came out ahead as far as losses, comparatively. There's one more unit back here, in the back, standing by the town center, and then, of course, the archers and the 2 spear units that were standing on the wall. And like I said, I was outnumbered. These peasant archers and just crossbowmen and stuff, they're not as, I guess, like I said, they're not as, they don't do as much damage as you would see in Warhammer or Warhammer 2 and 3. They do some, obviously. They're not in the game just to be colorful, but it's not something you can't make a stack of them and go in and take out an entire unit. You have to balance out your units have some melee, have some cavalry, and then some archers, but it's not your main force. And really, it would have been even better had that original original siege equipment not been manned by one of my melee, but manned by one of the archer units. It would have been even better because I wouldn't have lost all those men going up to just opening up the gate. I would have been able to allow these archers to move up and take most of the, take some of the damage away from these units over here and the towers. Which once we turned off the towers, that helped immensely. But this unit started out. Let's see, where was it? In the 70s, probably 75. Yeah, it started out at 75. By the time we broke open the gates, let's see, and everybody stormed in, they were in the 24s. So that unit was pretty much decimated just by this archer unit and the towers. They didn't have anything else to concentrate fire on, so of course they're going to take out a unit of 75. Not like I said, archers and the towers are not to be underestimated. They're not just, decorations. Obviously, you can't, like I said, you can't just make a stack of them and go in and win, but you can still defend quite well and pick off quite a number of your enemy's units. Oh, excuse me, enemy's units with this, with just these, with the archers and the towers. Now the towers are the ones that are doing the majority of the damage. Not so much. Not the archers are doing a lot, but the towers are the ones that are shooting fire arrows and trying to take out as much as they can before we broke open the gate. And that's a loss of like almost 50 men. That's kind of a big deal to lose that much before you've even engaged this back here when you have such a small army. Now, I came through on the next live stream and we fought and I ended up winning, but it was actually, I think that's the next video I'm going to make, is the actual next battle, which I didn't win either. I ended up messing that one up too. And that's the point of where I'm coming from with this channel, is not so, one, to have fun and have a good time playing whatever game is being live streamed and whatever game I'm playing that night and whatever videos I'm making. I'm just having fun with it. And so far, that's been working out quite well. It's only been a week or so, but so far it's been quite fun. And I've just been enjoying playing the games, even though no one's really come out. It's fine. The other thing that I am kind of doing is showing how to get better at the game. A lot of YouTubers, they have no problem telling you, oh, well, just practice. Well, yeah, that is a way, and that is one of the things that we're doing, is we're practicing at this, helping ourselves by doing as many battles as we can, and trying out different units and just seeing how they work and that kind of thing, and just trying different things. And we're not worried about save scumming and all that stuff. That's not the point of this. That is to see how much better we can get. Now, are we scared of losses? No. If I take a loss, I take a loss. I don't think I took a loss after this one, because I'm pretty sure, let's see. Yeah, I save scummed it. I was like, screw it. I'm going back. Leave that be, and I left it be for quite a few turns after that. And it's actually going to come. The next video's even nicer as far as mess ups and traps that you're going to fall into as a newbie, and it's fine to fall into those traps. Like, you should not feel bad that you fall into these traps, because that's what they are. That's what makes the game fun. And if you fall into them, hopefully soon we're going to be able to see some traps that we fall into, and how to recover from them, and just all around how that makes you a better player. Um, you're not going to win every battle. Nobody can win every battle. Even the greatest players in Total War and the rest of them, they lose battles. Why do they lose battles? Because you can't uh, you can't protect against everything. Now there are some campaigns out there. Oh, excuse me, it's late. Uh, there are some campaigns out there that show zero defeat campaigns. Those are some meticulous campaigns, and you can get there after you've been at it for a little while. But for us starting out, this is how we're going to start out. We're going to start out. We're going to lose battles. We're going to recover, and that's the best thing we can do. Um, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more of that. Um, I really got to get my intro down pat and a couple other things, but I'm quite happy with what I've been doing, and I hope we get some more views and the such, um, to our live streams. We live stream usually around 10 o'clock every night for 1 or 2 hours, just running into games and stuff. Hopefully, that's going to increase here and there here shortly, but for the time being, that's what we're going to do. But yeah, how not to mess up. First thing, make sure you either go in there with a good troop advantage. Make sure you bring your proper melee troops. Make sure you bring your proper cavalry troops. And pick. You should really plot out what troops are going to attack what troops, because obviously you don't want troops that counter yours. Like, I sent my cavalry in straight into a line of spears, and that resulted in an unusually large amount of death. So, pick troops that are weak against yours. Like, swordsmen's are going to be weak against cavalry. Spearmen, are going to be, if you can hit them from behind, they'll be weak against cavalry. But if you hit them head on, it's going to hurt you. So, you should do your best to try to take that. And archers, you can pretty much cut down with some cavalry. Cavalry is really king in the early ones, in the early Total War games. Later on, they kind of become obsolete, but I hear Creative Assembly's trying to rework that, but we'll see. A lot of the big guys that broadcast Total Wars have certainly said that Creative Assembly is not up to par, but you know, next year brings the next thing. So let's, especially this close to the end of the year, we'll see what they bring to the table next year. Who knows? But yeah, just right now for these early games, starting out, you should bring a good amount of melee, good amount of cavalry. Um, in the early game for me, I find it hard to like recharge. Like, I'm trying to expand. Uh, I'm trying to get as much of the rebel territory as I can. You see it all right here. I'm trying to pick off 2 rebel territories, and I think I just got that one in the last live stream burn, just because I want to expand as much as I can so I can build up my economy. And the higher in early games, you really want to build up your economy, get your ports in. Always, I said this, I think, at the beginning of the first campaign. Your internal cities really should be castles, the ones that don't have access to ports, and then the ones that have access to ports that are on the outside of your kingdom, like see, Paris is the only one I left the city because it was like, I mean, it's the capital, why not? But some of the other ones, let's see. Uh, I left Yeah, Bordello I turned into a city. Uh, Renee's I turned into a city. The ones that are on the southern coast, I made sure were cities, and then everything in the center were castles to get to the capital. So if you were wanting to go from Bordeaux, which is a city now, it would probably be an easy siege. But then getting from there to Paris, you'd have to go through some cavalry places that we created cavalry quite easily. So that kind of helped. But yeah, in the beginning of the game, you're constantly trying to like build up and make yourself stronger, and you know get uh, get a stronger beat on everything, and you're not really picking up on the fact that uh, yeah, there's this there's a problem here. There's you got to get a good army going, and you got to get your economy going. But economy is going to carry you forward, because once this falls into a negative down here, your gold, it's over. Doesn't matter what you do. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to climb yourself out of that. You're not gonna be able to retrain or build or do anything in these games. So always making sure your economy is bustling and you've got a lot going on is the way to go. So uh, I just realized that. I wonder. Yeah, I think there is. I gotta check that out next time I'm in the medieval game. You gotta make sure you're up and going and all that. I think this siege went a little bit better. Yeah, see, like there wasn't any towers or anything, and I just I just opened it up. Now, see, I made that problem again. There were two towers there, and they're not really pelting me that much, but I should have sent these archers in a little bit to stop that, because essentially I just wasted everybody who ran away. Everyone, as they ran away, they essentially, and I realized that and was like, oh no, go back, shoot at them, do something, so that when these guys come in, instantly you're going to see this fall. We instantly took it, and so it stopped these towers from shooting at the cavalry that came in. And once again, I just plowed my troops straight through the door, straight into them, and the cavalry took some hits, but this was mostly swordsmen, very little spearmen. And then once they got through, and they just started decimating, and that was really well for me. So, but that's not how it's going to be on the harder difficulties. You can't just throw all your guys through the gate at one time. You're going to have to build an effective strategy to get you through there. So, then I had to go hunt down what was left, and see, like, my melee troops were kind of keeping my cavalry from charging. So they never had an effective charge in this last little bit of the battle. And now there's two cursors, and it's kind of screwing with me. But it kind of screwed up. We probably lost one or two more cavalry than we should have, because I just kind of let them frolic in there instead of stopping and switching it up and sending the melee in first. And then once the melee was engaged, sending the cavalry in, which probably would have went better. So something to think about for later. And I think that's just about it for this one. Like I said, I'm having fun with this. I'm enjoying it, and I hope you guys, anyone who comes in is enjoying it too, and learning something new. I'm hoping by next month we've moved up on all of our difficulties and started to really take on the game, rather than inching through it like we are now. But it's always slow to start, and then you just start, rolling downhill. So we'll see where we're at next month. And You guys have a good one.